On a rainy evening, a wealthy businessman hurried down a busy street, his mind buried in phone calls and meetings. In his rush, he didn't notice his wallet slip from his pocket, landing in a puddle. Crowds passed by, eyes glued to their own worries. But one man noticed, a homeless man, shivering under a thin coat, hungry and tired. He bent down, lifted the soaked wallet, and stared at it. Inside were hundreds of dollars, cards, and IDs, enough money to change his week, maybe even his month. His stomach growled. He hadn't eaten properly in days. With trembling fingers, he opened the wallet, the sight of crisp bills burning into his eyes. Just one meal, he thought. No one would know. The world had ignored him for so long, yet here was a chance to take something for himself. But then he looked up, seeing families walking together, children laughing in the rain, and something in his heart whispered, "This money isn't yours." He sighed, closed the wallet, and decided he would try to return it. The homeless man walked block after block, looking at the ID card inside. The name belonged to a well-known businessman whose photo often appeared in newspapers. But how could someone like him ever meet someone so powerful? Strangers stared as the soaked man wandered with the wallet, but he kept going, determined. He asked shopkeepers if they had seen the man, but most shook their heads or ignored him. Hours passed, his stomach aching more and more, yet his grip on the wallet never loosened. Finally, at a cafe, he spotted him. The businessman sitting under warm lights, sipping coffee, still on the phone. The homeless man hesitated at the door, soaked, shivering, unworthy of stepping inside. But courage pushed him forward. The cafe grew silent as he approached the table. People sneered, some whispered. With shaking hands, he placed the wallet on the table and said softly, "I think this belongs to you." The businessman looked up, startled, staring at the man he had never noticed before. The businessman grabbed the wallet, checked inside, and found everything untouched. Silence filled the cafe. "You could have kept it," he said, his voice low. The homeless man simply shrugged. "It wasn't mine." The room remained frozen, eyes wide, some with pity, others with disbelief. For a moment, the businessman didn't know what to say. He realized how much he had taken honesty, safety, and even food for granted. Things this man lacked, yet still honored. Something in his heart shifted. The businessman stood and extended his hand. "Come with me," he said firmly. The homeless man blinked in disbelief. They walked out together, rain now a gentle drizzle. Instead of parting ways, the businessman led him to a small diner nearby. For the first time in days, the homeless man sat at a table and was served a hot meal. His hands shook as he ate, but tears filled his eyes more than food did his stomach. Kindness had finally found him. That meal wasn't the end. The businessman offered him a chance, a small job at one of his warehouses, just enough to get him back on his feet. The homeless man accepted with gratitude. Weeks turned into months. He showed up every day, working harder than anyone. Slowly, he saved money, bought new clothes, rented a room. His back straightened. His smile returned. People no longer looked away when he passed. They greeted him. His life was changing because he chose honesty over desperation. Months later, he walked past a young boy crying on the sidewalk. The boy had dropped his school bag, papers scattering everywhere. Without hesitation, the man knelt, helped gather the books, and handed them back with a smile. The boy's eyes lit up. It was a simple act, but it reminded him of the day he had chosen kindness, too. That one decision had multiplied, spreading further than he ever imagined. One evening, the man visited the same cafe where it all began. He sat at a table this time, not as a stranger, but as a customer. He ordered coffee, and as he sipped it, he looked around at the warm lights, the people, the laughter. He remembered the rain, the wallet, the hunger. But now he felt full. Not just with food, but with dignity and purpose. His life had changed because kindness was returned with kindness. The story of the lost wallet reminds us of one simple truth. What we give to the world always returns to us. That homeless man had every reason to keep the money, but he chose honesty. And that choice led to food, work, dignity, and hope. So next time life tests you, remember, kindness is never wasted. It may not return immediately, but when it does, it changes everything.